Welcome to the Rock Your World Naturally show, sharing God's prescription for total health in spirit, soul, and body. I'm your host, Rekishia McMillan, award-winning author, Air Force veteran, and total health coach. I'm passionate about sharing biblical truth, scientific research, and practical lifestyle approaches to help heal your world naturally. God bless you and welcome to the Rock Your World Naturally show. I'm your host, Rekishia McMillan, also known as the Total Health Coach, where we are rocking your world with all things natural according to God's prescription for total health. It's the place where healthy women rock. How are things in your world? How are you doing with your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health? Even as a health coach, I'm always looking for ways to improve my health. And if you are embarking on the journey to live a more holistic lifestyle, I want to encourage you to keep pushing, keep pressing, keep pursuing higher levels of health. Living in good health is a benefit that we are promised in the Word of God. Psalm 103:3 reminds us that He is the God who forgives all of our iniquities and He heals all of our diseases. This psalm embodies holistic health because it talks about our spiritual health, which in turn impacts our emotional or our soul health. And He also shares that He heals all of our diseases, which is our physical health. So continue to press in to the promise of God for divine health. Welcome to Topic Tuesday, where we are focusing on a current health topic or trend that is impacting women's health. Scientists have discovered dozens of chemicals responsible for a widespread problem associated with behavioral and cognitive health. Our exposure to toxins in our environment is greater than ever. Children and women are most susceptible to toxic environmental exposure that is costing us billions of dollars annually. Today's topic, the dangers of environmental toxins and what you can do to protect your health. If there's a health topic you want to hear discussed on the show, or you have a question related to health, send me an email at womenrockhealthcoaching@gmail.com. I'm also looking for women who would like to co-host on the show. If you feel that you embody the Rock Your World Naturally lifestyle, please reach out to me. I'd love to discuss this with you. Today's show is brought to you by the Total Body Cleanse and the Slim Crystal water bottle. And many of you have heard or know about my story prior to becoming a health coach, where I went through years of suffering from a number of health conditions. I had a lot going on in my body, ladies. I was suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome. I had myalgia, which was a form of fibromyalgia, hypoglycemia, candida overgrowth. I had fibroids all over my body. I was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from my military service and a near bout of Lyme disease after being bitten by a tick. And the majority of these illnesses stemmed from my bloodstream because it was overflowing with toxins, some of which included residue from past viral infections, chemicals from daily products that I was using on my skin, pesticides from food and drink that I was eating and drinking, bacteria and parasites from exposure to mold. And did you know that if the blood is not cleansed on a regular basis, the body gets overloaded with toxins, and our detox organs such as our liver, our kidneys, our lungs, our gut, and our skin, which we count on for maintaining our health, gets knocked out of balance. And that's what happened to me when I was going through many of my health issues. And when this happens, we experience significant symptoms that occur from the body trying to correct itself. Ladies, do you have any of the following symptoms? Do you have hard to lose belly fat, brain fog, especially after COVID-19, chronic fatigue, constipation, sugar cravings, bloated stomach, skin problems, gas, excessive cellulite, gallbladder problems, body aches and joint pains, migraine headaches, foul breath and body odor, insomnia or sleeping problems? Ladies, if you have any of these symptoms, your body is speaking. It's crying out to you. It is screaming. Please do not ignore it. What that means is that it's time to do some spring cleaning from the inside out. I want to personally invite you to join me for my Total Body Cleanse Challenge, which kicks off on the 30th of September. For more information, you can go to my website, womenrockhealthcoaching.com, or you can click on the show notes to find out how you can begin to alleviate your body of these symptoms and begin enjoying and experiencing the abundant health that God has for you. As a health coach, one of the areas that many of my clients struggle with is drinking water. We always have the conversation, and I ask the question, why don't you drink more water? It all boils down to this one simple fact, that water just tastes plain, Coach Rekishia. I understand. If you are accustomed to drinking sugary drinks, it can be more challenging to drink water. And one of the ways that I help my clients to drink more water is by providing creative ways like adding flavor to their water. This can be done through fruit infusions, adding essential oils, or enjoying herbal teas, which is one of my favorites. One of the ways that I recommend more water to my clients is by using the Slim Crystal Water Bottle. Because you know what? Water is not just a liquid, it's a nutrient, nourishing every major system in our human body. Water keeps our brains functioning, it hydrates our blood cells, it detoxes our lungs, our liver, our kidneys. And the Slim Crystal Water Bottle is the world's only crystal water bottle that is created to infuse water so that it can help support healthy weight loss. Drinking 2 to 3 liters of water from the Slim Crystal Water Bottle each day is a great way to support healthy weight loss, maintain healthy digestion, have high energy levels, and can support your health and long-term youthfulness amongst many other benefits. This is a one-of-a-kind water bottle infused with 9 authentic gemstones created by God. And just like essential oils and plant life, each gemstone has specific healing properties. And it just makes sense because everything that God created is filled with His life-giving and healing power, including gemstones. This bottle contains healing gemstones like red jasper, amethyst, clear quartz, and others. We are so confident that you will love this product that it comes with a 100% satisfaction and a 60-day money-back guarantee. You can go to my website, womenrockhealthcoaching.com, and click on the Slim Crystal Water Bottle link or the show notes to order your water bottle today. It's an excellent way to enjoy the sweet taste of water, hydrate your body, lose weight naturally, and feel great all day long with the Slim Crystal Water Bottle. Today's show topic, the dangers of environmental toxins and what you can do to protect your health. When we think about environmental toxins, where did this all begin? It began in the Garden of Eden. After the fall of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, sin entered the earth, and Adam would now be required to work by the sweat of his brow, according to Genesis 3:19. The Bible also shares that before the fall, that the voice of the Lord walked with Adam and Eve in the garden in the cool of the day. And so now that sin had entered in, they would no longer be taking walks with God in the cool of the day. Because during those walks, the purpose was to share wisdom and guidance and instructions on how to live in oneness with the earth. And now Adam had to rely on his own wisdom. That's known as the wisdom of man. 1 Corinthians 3:19 says that the world's wisdom is foolishness in God's sight. And whenever we step outside of the boundaries that God has established for our lives, the price that we pay often comes at a great price. And the sins of Adam and Eve made the earth vulnerable to becoming spiritually and environmentally toxic. In Genesis 3:17, the Bible says that because of sin, the land or the ground became cursed, and it grew with thorns and thistles, and this represented a chaotic and an unstable state. And the same pattern of environmental unrest and toxicity is prevalent in the earth today, but it's only in a greater measure. And we can see that this has increased with the inception of the Industrial Revolution. So we're going to go back in history for a little bit. For those of you that remember studying the Industrial Revolution in school, or for some of the books that you've read, that the massive influx of environmental toxins erupted with the Industrial Revolution, which began in the mid-1700s in England, and then it came to the United States in the mid-1800s. And so what happened is, because there was such a monumental shift in our societal structure, it catapulted America from being an agrarian or a farming land culture to one that was dominated industrially. And so the widespread use of machines replaced hundreds of jobs that were once completed by human labor. There was a promise of new jobs, higher wages, and agricultural families. They uprooted their loved ones from their rural farmlands to begin their life with this new industrial lifestyle. And so, did the Industrial Revolution have blessings associated with it? I believe that it did. But whenever I think about how it happened, I cannot escape the account of the Tower of Babel in the Bible. Because what happened, it was in Tower of Babel-like fashion, as if overnight, that skyscrapers, machinery, factories, refineries, cars, trains, and trucks sprawled across all over the United States, and it just quickly populated our entire country. And all of this contributed to, and still contributes to, our environmental toxins. And so what was so attractive about the industrial lifestyle is that it allowed people to generate and transport food, medicine, and clothing on much larger scales by air, land, and sea quickly as well as efficiently. And so although this transformation is considered a major milestone in our history, the grave outcomes associated with human health and the preservation of our environment were not fully understood. No one really comprehended what this would do to our society, our earth, our environment. And so centuries later, these industrial practices, they have not changed, but they have dramatically increased in the supply, the demand, the transport, as well as the production of goods. And so while the Industrial Revolution, it advanced technological development, the consequent toxic threats affecting human health and our environmental safety cannot be ignored. And so as we're discussing this topic today of the dangers of environmental toxins and how they impact our health, one of the things that may surprise you is that staying inside in enclosed spaces such as our homes and our offices, this is where the majority of environmental toxin exposure occurs, because remaining indoors for prolonged lengths of time exposes our blood to thousands of invisible toxins. And remember the scripture in Leviticus 17 and 11, which says that the life, the health, the strength, the vitality of all human beings is in the blood. And so if we're in prolonged spaces for a long period of time, there is actually an invisible war that is taking place concerning toxins in our bloodstream. Because unfortunately, most offices as well as our homes include or contain harmful chemicals. And when these chemicals are inhaled, they can seriously and quickly damage our vital organs to include our lungs, our brain, our liver, our kidneys. And using some of the common cleaning agents such as bleach, oven cleaner, laundry soap, degreasers, this creates a high probability that the products that you're using contain toxic chemicals that are easily absorbed into the bloodstream. So just a few moments ago, I shared that how when we smell or we inhale these chemicals, they're getting into our bloodstream. And if we're not using proper protection with gloves on our hands, then it's being absorbed into the bloodstream. And so what happens is that when these toxins are inhaled or when they're absorbed into the blood, they lodge and accumulate into our blood cells, into our muscles, into our tissues, as well as our joints. So if you're having joint pain, it could very well be related to the toxins that you are absorbing as well as inhaling. And so I just want to share some statistics on just how dangerous toxic exposure is to human health. The New York Times reported that cancer rates have continued to increase every year since 1970. Brain cancer in children is up 40% in 20 years. Toxic chemicals are largely to blame. The National Report on Human Exposure to Environmental Chemicals reports an average of 148 toxic chemicals reside in our human bodies, and those were only the ones that have been tested. The Environmental Protection Agency says the toxic chemicals in household cleaners are 3 times more likely to cause cancer than air pollution. And so in order to counter these statistics, part of the solution is to eliminate chemical-based products within the home, the school, office, the hospital settings. And I can remember when I was going through a lot of my health challenges. I was one of those women where I was using a lot of bleach. I was using a lot of Lysol because you know what? We grew up learning that that was okay, but not realizing that it was detrimental to our health. And so I had to switch up to natural, more alternative cleaners. And so by cleaning up my home environment, what was happening is I was no longer subjecting my bloodstream to toxic chemical agents. I was giving my body time to detox and it began to heal itself. And so I just want you to think a moment about your cleaning projects at home. And so have you ever noticed that when you clean your home with agents like bleach or even oven cleaner, that you have to make sure that the area is well ventilated? And if you take time to read the fine print on a lot of common cleaning products, there are several warnings printed on the bottles or the packages because manufacturers are aware of the severe damage that these chemicals have on your health when you inhale them as well as when they are absorbed through the blood. And you may not be familiar, but there's actually a syndrome called the sick building syndrome. And what this is that it's used to describe situations where building occupants experience acute health and uncomfortable effects that appear to be linked with time spent in the building. And there's no specific illness that can be identified, but they just know that it's from those environmental toxins that something is happening to the person. And so the complaints, they can be localized in a particular room, a zone, or widespread throughout the building. And so a lot of times, because there's a concentration of indoor pollutants found in schools, hospitals, home, as well as building environments, they're 2 to 5 times higher than the outdoor concentration of outdoor pollutants. And some of the chief complaints or symptoms are headaches, eye pain, nose pain, throat irritation, dry cough, itchy skin, dizziness, nausea, difficulty concentrating, and even sensitivity to odors. And so many times the cause of the symptoms is not known, but most individuals share that they have relief as soon as they're leaving their building. And so when we are routinely enclosed inside of a building, the body is being deprived of fresh air. And we know that fresh air oxygenates the blood cells properly. And enclosed spaces subject the body to poor ventilation. You're surrounded by synthetic materials. There's chemical pollutants from cleaners, toxins from heating and air conditioning units, airborne particles from dust, carpet fibers, fungal spores, which are trapped inside the carpet. And when you're inhaling these, they release invisible toxins into your bloodstream. And so the Environmental Protection Agency has deemed poor indoor air quality as one of the top 5 health hazards of our generation. I'll share that again. The Environmental Protection Agency has deemed poor indoor air quality as one of the top 5 health hazards of our generation. Subjecting the body to enclosed spaces for prolonged periods of time is like setting up camp in an invisible war zone, surrounded by a stealthy and unseen enemy, ready to invade and attack your bloodstream with hundreds of dangerously toxic poisons. There was research that was conducted by William J. Fisk and Arthur H. Rosenfeld of the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory in Berkeley, California, and it revealed that when the rate of outdoor air supply or ventilation rate is increased, the indoor air concentrations of many pollutants emitted from sources inside the building are actually reduced. And so ventilation rates changed in U.S. offices shows that it improved their work performance by 10% and decreased sick building syndrome symptoms by 12 to 16 million workers, and it reduced 7 to 10 million days of avoided work absences. So when they begin to push fresh air and ventilate those areas within the building, there was a decrease with 12 to 16 million workers. There was a 10% increase in improved work performance, and it reduced 7 to 10 million days of avoided work absences. This associated total annual economic benefit ranges from $9 billion to $14 billion in savings. That is absolutely phenomenal. And so, again, we have to take concerted efforts when it comes to protecting the health of our blood, because many women are being diagnosed with mental health disorders, and I believe that they're being misdiagnosed because it's due to toxic substances within their bloodstream. And as a mental health professional, I have worked in this career field for over 20 years, and I have seen this, I have experienced this on a routine basis, because it's not a mental health disorder that women are actually encountering. However, it is the exposure to toxins that are, in a sense, mimicking what looks like a mental health disorder when it's really not, And conventional medicine does not investigate environmental factors that could be resulting in the symptoms that a woman is experiencing. Symptoms have to be addressed holistically. Determine if there's an environmental factor impacting her overall health. We have to ensure that we are doing what is necessary to promote the life, the health, the strength of our bloodstream. And the root cause of where disease begins and ends is in the blood. So in order to reverse what is taking place in the body, we must take action from the inside out. Healing takes place from the inside out, where conventional medicine treats sickness from the outside, but only treating the surface symptoms by not investigating the root cause of disease. And after the commercial break, I'm going to share what measures you can take to protect and preserve your health from environmental toxins. Thanks for joining in. You're listening to the Rock Your World Naturally show, where we are rocking your world with all things natural according to God's prescription for total health. It's the place where healthy women rock. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Women Rock Health Coaching, for more content on how to rock your world naturally. Visit my website at womenrockhealthcoaching.com for more information on upcoming webinars, events, health challenges, conferences, retreats, and more. Are you looking for a way to lose weight naturally but simply don't have time to go to the gym or follow a meal plan? Exipure is a natural dietary supplement that intends to support healthy weight loss. Exipure is unlike anything you've ever tried or experienced. It is the only product in the world with a proprietary blend of 8 exotic nutrients and plants designed to target low brown adipose tissue levels, the newfound root cause of your unexplained weight gain. Some of the exotic ingredients include organic non-GMO ginger, holy basil, and white Korean ginseng. Exipure comes with a 100% satisfaction and a 180-day money-back guarantee. If you are not astonished at how fast your deep, stubborn fat stores melt away into pure energy, or shocked as you admire your new toned slim body in the mirror, then at any time they'll refund every single penny of your investment. No questions asked. You can go to my website, womenrockhealthcoaching.com, or click on the show notes to select the Exipure link to receive discounted rates and 2 free gifts. Welcome back to the show. I'm your total health coach, Rekishia McMillan. Today's show topic, the dangers of environmental toxins and what you can do to protect your health. And so prior to the commercial break, I was sharing the different ways that environmental toxins impact our health, particularly within our home, office, school, hospital environments. And so now I'm going to share some of the things that you can do to overcome and to begin cleansing the blood of the toxins that are impacting or may be impacting your overall health. And so these are simple approaches that you can begin that don't cost you any money at all, but they're free. And so one of the main things is that we have to make a habit of opening windows in our home regularly, because this will allow fresh air to circulate into the rooms in our house. And so remember, this is about exposing our blood environment, our bloodstream, to those things that are going to keep it cleansed, or exposed to those habits, those practices that are going to help to keep the bloodstream cleansed. One of my favorites is filling your home with living plants. During photosynthesis, plants release an abundance of oxygen into the atmosphere. So in your working space, in your living room, you can have those living plants that will help to bring oxygen into the home, which you will be inhaling. One of the other things that you can do is you can practice focused breathing during walks, at least 15 to 30 minutes, 5 times a week. And so when you're walking, many times people are just walking during their time of exercise, but they're not concentrating on their focused breathing. And you can do this by inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling completely through your mouth. And if you're walking during those colder months, you can wear layers to stay warm. This can be an invigorating way to jumpstart your day. And so when you're inhaling, when you're breathing in that oxygen from the outside, what that's doing is that you are detoxing the blood system, the blood environment within the body. Another thing that you can do is that in the area or the scope of exercise is that if you are within reasonable distance, you can opt to ride your bike to work. You can also walk. Not only is this great for your health, but it also helps to reduce emissions that are released into the environment by vehicle fumes and exhaust. Getting off the couch and getting outside into the great outdoors. You can do that by visiting your local parks, your hiking trails, going to your beaches, getting out into those wide open spaces. One of the other things that you can do is instead of using the plug-in fresheners that are often filled with a lot of chemicals, you can use all natural air fresheners that are soy-based, that are also made from beeswax. You can also include essential oils because the chemicals that are found in most candles, as well as the plug-in air fresheners, they contain a large amount of carcinogenic or cancer-causing substances. You can also begin to use environmentally safe cleaning products. You can do this by using simple things such as baking soda, lemons, vinegar, or distilled water. You can use homemade products that are safe, highly effective, and they're going to make your home and your office smell amazingly clean for pennies on the dollar. You can also ensure that in your bathroom space, and this is one of the things that I didn't know about, is that have you ever noticed the strong smell that permeates the atmosphere when you take a vinyl shower curtain or a liner out of the package? That's because that is the smell of hundreds of toxic chemicals. You can protect you and your family by replacing toxic vinyl shower curtains with liners with cloth shower curtains or liners. So they have some beautiful 100% cotton cloth shower curtains, as well as cloth liners that you can use. And that's something that I've practiced for over 15, 20 years now, and it will be beneficial to your health. One of the last tips that I'll share is that you can rid your home of products that contain hazardous chemicals, and you can replace them with safe, effective, and natural alternatives. And you can find out more about healthy alternative choices by visiting OSHA.gov, as well as the Environmental Working Group at EWG.org. So what are the takeaways from today's show? The purpose of today's show was to heighten your awareness of the dangers associated with environmental toxins and how they are impacting your health. The intent of sharing this information is not to cause you to become stressful or overwhelmed about the prevalence of toxins, because they do exist, but it's to get you to begin thinking critically about what is impacting your health, as well as equip you with essential tools to combat this silent threat. knowing that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. God reminds us that He wants us to use wisdom when we receive it, and in all of our getting to get an understanding. We must understand that although we live in a world that is highly toxic, there are keys to counter these toxins. In this era, God is empowering His people with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to rise up and serve as personal health guardians to protect their divine health. I'll end the show with the scripture found in Luke 4:23, as stated by Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Surely you will quote this proverb to me, 'Physician, heal thyself.'" This sound piece of advice from Jesus lets us know that we must take personal action to bring about healing and wholeness in our lives on a spiritual and physical level. God's will is for Christians to live in abundant health, and we have a very important role to play in our physical healing, for faith without works is dead. Be sure to share this show and follow me on social media at Women Rock Health Coaching. Listen to the Rock Your World Naturally show wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate and review the show wherever you listen. For more content from Rock Your World Naturally, visit womenrockhealthcoaching.com.